Okay, welcome back to the Subaru build, Subaru project, Subaru restoration, the Subaru nut and bolt, everything. Because that's what it's turned into now, as you well know. So, doesn't look like too much has changed, but we are at the point now when we're looking to be ready to go for paint. But a little bit of a dilemma in the sense of what's happening with the painting, because I can't currently, just because of how busy they are, etc. I can't nail down the guys who done the underside of the car, which I'm more than happy with. Work was great, great guys, but I can't nail them down to get a date to paint the whole car. Now, they are a full-blown body shop, oven, etc., employees, lots of guys, big workshop, but of course they've got a higher turnaround of their own cars, and the body shop is part of a car sales company, so they turn around a lot of work as well as insurance stuff and this, that and the other. So it's hard for them to get the time slot to pin something like this in. Fair enough. So I've also had a look elsewhere at some other companies, one of them local to me. It's a company called Bang Custom Paintworks. Work looks really good. Never personally seen up close any of the work, but stuff I've heard is that the work is good, and little video clips, Instagram reels, things look good. Guy called Mitchell and his partner Sherry who do the work, and they come and had a look at the car and gave me a price. Excuse me, the dilemma I've got is I'd saved a set amount to one side for painting the car. Now, yes, things have escalated and more needs to be done, and I kind of budgeted for that in the first place. But I've got enough money to cover the guys who done the underside, but I can't get a date out of them to get the car done. And I'm itching to get it done because the workshop is just nothing but car parts. Like you look over here, small Subaru box, bags upon boxes of Subaru parts. The stuff is literally everywhere. We'll go into some of the bits for a second. So I've got the money put to one side to get them guys to paint it, but currently I can't get hold of them to see when they can paint it. Now, that led me to speak to the other guys to get them to give me a price to paint it and do all the work. But their price is currently quite a bit more than what I've got sat to one side for the paint. So I'm not quite sure what to do. Now, I think I'd be really happy with the other guys at Bang Custom Paintworks, but what I keep telling myself with the car is I've gone crazy with this, and I've done nut and bolt restoration, done the underside, and we've even gone to the point now that we took the engine out of the car, and the gearbox is going to come back out, so all it leaves is the cradle, because I'm going to get the engine bay painted the exact same World Rally Blue 02C paint code inside. Now, that's not as per factory, because as per factory it had like a darker base in the engine bay, and then the outside got painted, and it only had like a weird lick of O2C around certain areas. But I'm just going to do the whole thing because I'm not going OEM resto. I'm going to do the whole thing one colour because it's easier, and then you haven't got to get into where the that one stops and this one starts. Just make it all nice and bright blue. You can't see the majority of it when it's in there anyway, but I was at the point that so much was off of the car. I think regardless of who paints it or what happens with paintwork, if the whole car gets painted and it's a good job and you look at it and you go, God, that's really nice, you'd have lifted the bonnet and just seen, you know, this part of the wings would be painted, but all up round here, little bits in here you would have seen, and I know you don't see a lot of it, so I'm probably gone far too fussy and shouldn't have. But I thought while I'm there, let's just do it. And also I wanted to pay more attention to the lower radiator panel down here to make sure it wasn't rotten. And it's got a bit of crust on it but it's absolutely rock solid, so I haven't got to worry about cutting anything out and replacing it. But anyway, so yeah, excuse me, I got cold. Now we've got the engine out of the car, so there's more to do. So yeah, going back to it, I've got enough money for one of the paint quotes, but I can't get hold of them or can't get a date out of them on when to do it. But I haven't got enough money for the other guys who can do it, but it's above my budget currently. Now, I'm kind of, some people say, well, you've done this much and you've spent that much money, what should you do? The problem I've got is I don't think their price is unjustified by what people have said about their work, etc. So it's not the price regards to their work, it's whether I can justify even more money on a car that I do want to use, not every day, but I want to use it. It's not a show car. Now, I've done every single nut bolt. I'm going to do trims, rubbers and things like that. But they're all things that just make the car kind of nicer to drive, more enjoyable, less, you know, old seals that create wind noise and things like that. Yeah, I don't benefit from them as such. It will just make the car nicer in general. Now, the paintwork, of course, it's got to look nice and it's got to look good, but do I justify another big chunk of money to have the paintwork, you know, absolute show finish, which is great, don't get me wrong, everybody wants it to be really good, but do I justify another chunk of money to have the paintwork on a show finish when I want to use it as kind of like a, not an everyday, but a all sorts of everyday kind of car, I suppose, with the kids in and things like that, and take it places, you know, run of the mill, not just, oh, it's summertime and there's a show. I do want to drive this, you know, this needs to be a car, not like the Fiesta where you put it away and you use it once a year. I want to use this all the time. So the budget for the paint currently, if the job's not as good or not as finicky, will I still be happy because I don't want a super duper duper duper, you know, someone who's going to put more effort in and more time in and make it perfect? Is that going to be kind of wasted on a car that I'm going to sort of take out to the shops and leave in a car park and things like that? You know, I just don't know what to do. And to be fair, I'm at the point where I had that money set to one side and I've done bits and pieces and I haven't got the money free to hand to go, let's just do more. Let's just spend another few grand, you know? So I don't know what to do. My dilemma is that. So we're sat here now, the car's ready to go. If I put the steering rack I took out and I just gave it a lick of paint, you can't see 99% of the steering rack. But this was all covered in gunk. I think there'd been a leak in seal, so I plugged them up and I gave this just a lick of silver, you know, just to make it look nice. But once it's under the beam, you can't see it anyway. But the car's good to go. Excuse me. Today I took the door card off the rear because whoever paints it, whatever happens, we're going to take the glass out and I'm going to do all that dog work. So I'll give it to the person without the glass, without the rubbers, without the trims, and if required, when the car gets put together, I'll go to said paint shop and I'll put the glass and the rubbers back in if that needs to be done to like align the doors. Obviously you need to know the door's in the right spot to make sure, because it's pillarless, you need to make sure the window's in the right spot, etc, etc. So I can do all that to save people time and the fiddly jobs that they probably are not interested in doing, that will add to the price, no doubt. Now, as for the rest of the car, we got rid of our front crash bar because it was damaged. So if I jiggle this bumper off and jiggle this side off, we've got a brand new OEM Subaru crash bar. Now, price wise, it wasn't crazy, sort of 200 quid, something like that. I think it might have even been a bit less. But I had problems. I ordered one from Import Car Parts, turned up absolutely trashed. That's on the floor over there. I ordered one from DL Motorsport, that turned up also trashed. And then DL Motorsport, Import Car Parts were out of stock, so they couldn't do anything but refund. DL Motorsport, the guys there, I bought loads of them, and to be fair, they're brilliant. Highly recommend DL Motorsport and Import Car Parts, to be fair, but they didn't have another one to replace it. So I went to DL, they give me another one, sent it out, this time all strapped up with blocks of wood, etc., or a big piece of wood to make sure nothing could get damaged, and we've got a new one on there. So they've took the damaged one back. I'm not sure what's happening with that one from Import Car Parts. I've been refunded, but I haven't found out what's what yet. So we've got a new crash bar on there because the old one, it wasn't bent or damaged, but it was rotten. It rotten here, started to go, I say rotten, it was solid still, but it started to go crusty here. And it started to push this panel inwards where the rust was getting between the two. And someone else bought the old one, so this one only worked out costing me £100 for a brand new one, because I sold the other one for £100 to somebody who crashed the car and theirs was all bent. So they were more than happy and come and grab the other one. So that's good. Now, front bumper, WRX, no real damage on it, just needed painting. And the rear bumper, 2 bits of damage there, a dent in there, little tiny bit of damage in there, and there's a funny little dent in the number plate recess. So this big box here is 2 brand spanking new Subaru bumpers. So I bought the STI front bumper because I bought winglets to go on there anyway, and if you fit the STI winglets to the WRX bumper, you've got to cut slots and bond them on and try and do it, and they don't fit. Like, plenty of people get them to fit and there's no dramas, but you have to make them fit. So I thought, if I'm going to replace the bumper anyway, buy the STI bumper, and then the winglets are a direct fit. And I also bought the rear bumper, which the rear bumper is the same on the WRX, the STI, the Blob and the Hawk, etc. So the rear bumper, there is no difference on the UK spec. So we've got brand new front, brand new rear, and we've got the clips to go with it. So I've had to buy 2 more. These are the brand new rear bumper corner inserts, rivets, clips. These are the front bumper winglet brackets for the sides and the tops. We've got new ones of these coming, number plate brackets. There's all sorts of bits in there for that. In this box here, we've got a brand new one of these. So this is a front grille. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not broken. Everything's intact, but it's really sort of the plasticky bit's really faded. So like down there, for example. So rather than paint it, we got a brand new one of those. So we've got all these bits and pieces, and of course the engine's out, so that makes it easy to do stuff on that, but we're going to worry about that later. So yeah, that's where we're at. The car's ready to go to a paint shop. I just need to either try and save more money, get some more money together, which is going to take time, which means the car's not going for paint anytime soon. Unless I've still got some old cosy parts I can get rid of and what have you. But anyway, I've either got to save more money, a chunk more money for paintwork with one lot of guys. I may shop around for another quote elsewhere, or I've got to try and keep chasing the guys to get a date in the body shop for the guys who've done the underside, who've done a blinding job, you know. But okay, it's the underside of the car. That's completely different to the top side, but they do good work. I've seen their work in their body shops, and yeah, there's nothing wrong with it in that sense at all. So the car's pretty much ready to go. We've just got that money/paint dilemma. So not much else to update you on, apart from me being a numpty. I dented the bloody panel. See that? Dent. Really, really, really annoyed with myself there. And oh look, we got a matching one right here. This one was there for some reason for something else. I don't know how I've done that, but that was already there. But I done that one and that one the other day when I took the spoiler off. So anyone who knows, the springs on the boot of an STI spoiler, or for an STI boot lid, when there isn't the weight of the spoiler on there, that flies up. Now, I undone all the bolts and had it rested with the boot shut. I stripped the spoiler into 2 pieces, upper and lower, because I'd put this on the car and siliconed it all around the bolt holes. You can see the silicone, so that wouldn't leak. And to be fair, it wouldn't have leaked, but of course it's got to be painted. So it all had to come off. So again, save people at the body shop time and effort. I took the spoiler off, I separated it, I done all that because that probably took me about 4 hours. Now, if you're paying somebody else, doesn't matter who you're paying, that's 4 hours of somebody's time that you need to pay for. So I done that bit of dog work. Now, I took the top section off, excuse me, took the top section off and left the bottom section resting on the boot. Then I needed to get something out of the boot, so I opened the door, popped the boot spring, the boot shot up, the lower part of the spoiler with the studs flew out and landed straight across here. And that's what gave me 2 brand new dents. So I was happy, mate. Well chuffed with that one. So obviously that's more time and effort for someone. It's going to cost me more money. And they're right on the edge as well. You know, obviously I know it can be repaired, but right on the edge. I was fuming. But yeah, so now I have to be careful. I'm not shutting the boot because if I open that, it sounds like it's going to bloody snap off because it pings up so fast. So yeah, we're there on the car. Engine's been removed. Engine's under here. We'll build that up later. We're not worried about that. We want the engine bay painted. We want the car painted. We want to work out what we're going to do. I don't know when the next update will be because we've got all this stuff to work out. And of course, even if the car goes away to be painted, it's going to be quite some time. So I don't think there's going to be any updates. There might be one more when it finally goes off to a body shop somewhere to get done. We might do a quick bon voyage video of off it goes. But other than that, we're there. Car's ready, got new bumpers, all the clips, plastic, blah, 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 ready to go. I'll take out the trims and the glass before it goes. We'll do one more video before it goes off to a paint shop. Hopefully that will be sometime in the near future. Before Xmas would be great. Christmas, Xmas, whatever. But who knows, might be the new year now. So cheers for watching. Hit the notification bell, like and subscribe if you want to see more updates on the Subaru. And we'll see you again on the next one. Cheers for watching.